So what's next? Probably saying, what in the world is that? I'll give you an idea of what it is right here. This is not the actual car, but it's one very similar to this. I'll get some pictures of the actual car and show you that. It's a offset Supermodified Roadster from the mid-70s. And I'll clarify my information before I pass any more along on you. The nose cone here. The hood. This hood is an original piece. The white parts are new. Fortunate enough that the molds still exist for these. Tail section. Very nice pieces. We're going to get ready and prep these and paint them. We've got a few more pieces on the other side over here. Very cool stuff. I grew up with this stuff going to our local track here, Oswego Speedway. These cars ran there. Ran out of Oswego, New York, various tracks. Bottom of the nose cone here, our side panels, lower side panels. So we'll get all these ready to paint. So this will be coming up here as we make progress on this. I'll keep everyone up to date on what we're doing with it. Wild machines. They've been noted over the years as the fastest short track, oval track machines in the world. This particular car here runs big block Chevrolet. Hillborn injection. So we'll bring you back as we start working on this one. Alright, we're starting a little bit on these super modified parts. I'm working on them while I'm doing a GTO here. So here's the hood. I told before the hood was the only piece that was a used part. Everything else is new on this. I'm using this old finish here a little bit as my guide coat. See the dark areas? Those are low. So I'll try to sand them down using a round Durablock on these. This block works well over all this contour area like this. See those spots right there we talked about. We'll continue to sand this. It's kind of hard to hold these pieces while you're working on them. Flimsy parts are hard to sand straight because they move around a lot. The ideal thing would be to sand them right on the race car frame. The race car frame, that was all finished, so it wouldn't be a good mix. You know, this sanding and bodywork, you can see how that's disappearing now. Almost gone now, just that little bit. I've got 180 paper on here. That's what we're prepping this with. I'll put a coat of 2K prime on this. We'll keep going. So I start with the used part. It's the least straight. All of these parts are pretty good. I'll wipe these down to make sure we get any mold release off of these new parts. Mold wax, and then we'll start blocking them. We'll give them an initial block right on this gel coat. We won't sand through it, just give them a nice scuff block to level as much as we can before we prime them. Then we'll block out our primer. So I'll bring you back as we make more progress on this. Alright, some of the super modified stuff here. I probably won't show every one of these as I sand them, so I have to sand the big tail section yet, and I've got some flat parts yet. Here's our nose cone. I'll show you this piece. It's kind of cool the way it's made. Got about a shark mouth opening on the front of it. Okay, so I'll bring you back when we make more progress on these. Alright, back on the super modified stuff here today. I've showed this kind of stuff before. All I'm really doing here, as you can see, where this has already been sanded, as compared to over here. All I'm doing is using this dirty surface as my guide coat for our first sand. I'm going to end up with a couple little places, you know. Here's a little place right there. There's the dots. A few little low spots. Here's a place here that was gouged. Let's put a little filler on those. So all in all, we're knocking this down, blocking it down like this. So this part's already been done. Nice and smooth. Down to 320. So we're putting this in. Dura block here, flat block. I've got my round block here too, using these edges. And on an angle over these edges, knock those all down. Get all the contour spots with that one. So we'll bring it back when we get this all flat sanded out. Alright, so these are all done here now. Now these are this flat fiberglass sheet that was laid up. They're, 3/16 of an inch thick, something like that. They're not quarter. But they were laid up. These are the lower body sections. These big flat pieces, we'll say, go down on the lower side of the hood here, lower side of the cockpit and so forth. All I'm having to do to these is 320 scratch on them. You can see right here what I'm doing. Just that much. I like to take them and just touch all the edges. All these edges have already been rounded over as they need to be. Just smooth them in, blend them in a little. Hit the back sides here just a little. We're going to paint all the inside of this this body satin black after the red is applied to the outside. So that's what we have to do to all these. Straightforward stuff. Sand and scuff and make more dust. Bring you back.